Hi, my dear Astro family. I hope you had a great start to your year. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2024. And I hope you are ready to get started with some astrological insight, which is going to be the new moon in the sign of Capricorn. Now, what is a new moon? New moon is when the sun and the moon are on exactly the same zodiacal degree. So they are forming a conjunction. New moons are all about setting intentions, especially when it happens in the sign of Capricorn, because Capricorn is about our own goals and ambitions and direction in life. So you know what? I would call this new moon as the new moon of New Year Eve resolutions. And this is a great new moon, actually. It's very supported. So I'm going to break it down for you because we've got a mini grand trine going on between Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter as well. So, which is very much about putting your mind to it and then you are able to actually do it. So I really like this one here. Now, let's get going. So this new moon is going to be taking place on 11th of January 2024. And it's going to be happening on 20 degree of Aquarius. So it's 20 degree of Capricorn, sorry. So this would be something to do with a Virgo dwad. Now, straight away, I would like to mention that one of the very interesting things is, because it happens almost on 21 degree, 2044 to be precise, it happens on the degree where we had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in 2020, January 12. So exactly 4 years later on, this new moon is recharging that degree. So on a personal level, because this is going to be something to do with the personal level, right? So think about what was going on 4 years ago in your life. First of all, how much have you managed to gather your own strength? This is going to be one of the topics because then it would be helping you now to actually revisit those topics and maybe getting it started. Obviously, that was the start of COVID as well. Plenty of us had plans, but we might not have been able to actually get going with them. So maybe we need to revisit those plans and we need to be able to start them now. So that's one really interesting factor about it. You know what? Saturn and Pluto was about the abuse of power as well. So in the world order, you know, we will see what is going to be happening with certain type of leaders, especially if there were leaders 4 years ago who were in the spotlight for misusing their own power. They might be somehow popping up again in the picture. But most importantly, on a personal level, it's about a bit of a summary point of how far you've come in regards to your plans and achievements. A little bit of a summary about what I have achieved so far, and kind of like the realization that the sky is unlimited. So this is the point of achievements. What did you learn about your own personal power? How to unleash that power? Because in the last 4 years, you were meant to be gathering your own strength. And now this needs to be unleashed somehow. Capricorn is very much about, let's call it as the sign that is in connection to gathering your own experiences and then crystallizing, giving shape and form to those experiences. Maybe also this is a point where you're going to have to look at whether certain things are working in your life or not. So how to move on from them. You know what, Capricorn, it's an earth sign, so it's going to be talking to us about planning things out. So let's have certain type of strategies involved here as well. By the way, this new moon has got a beautiful sextile to Pallas Athene, which is the asteroid of strategies. So this is reinforcing the need to have a plan and then to make it happen. The make it happen comes from the fact, two facts. Capricorn is a cardinal sign to start with, so they are always about initiations. And secondly, we also have got the dispositor of this new moon, Saturn, in a very beautiful harmonious sextile to Mars, which is the planet of achievement also. So I love it so far. Also, this new moon might be just wanting you to look at your own limitations and fears. What were your limitations 4 years ago? Do you still have those limitations that needs to vanish? Are they actually limitations or are they just your own fears? The last 4 years must have been more of a maturation process for plenty of us. So did you grow up by now? Are you ready to set new intentions in your life? Maybe 4 years ago, you wanted to leave your job, but then COVID came around and you didn't. So what are your plans now? Maybe you were meant to be learning about patience, time management in the last 4 years. Those are also Capricornian keywords. So have you obtained the necessary knowledge now? I think you might know it by now. You might know that actually success takes time. And that's why patience is a very important characteristics. So that's one really interesting thing, what I picked up with this new moon. I think it is also wanting us to be very clear about what we want. It wants us to kind of drill down in a way. It wants us to put our long-term plans together, not necessarily for just the immediate future though. And the future, by the way, comes from the fact that this new moon is being trined by Uranus as well, actually. So this is giving us loads of futuristic opportunities. This new moon wants us to be disciplined, hardworking, and focused. The focus comes from Pallas Athene as well as from Capricorn as well. It wants you to be ambitious about something. Now, because there is an Earth grand trine going on, which I'm going to come on to very shortly, those are all about building something up. And Capricorn is something about solidity, something to do with internal foundation. Where does the internal foundation comes from? Because this is a Cancer Capricorn axis, and Cancer is about inner happiness. But in order for us to feel happy, we need to conquer our fears, Capricorn. Yes, this could talk to you about being responsible for your own actions as well. You might have made the wrong choices 4 years ago, and now you have to grow up in a way to admit that, you know what, I could have done it in a completely different way as well. It wants you to be serious. So I love this new moon so far, to be honest. Now, as I said, this new moon has got multiple aspects, and one of them is very tight squares to the lunar nodes. So the nodes often are talking to us about choices. Choices because we've got the possibility to grow with the North Node, and then we've got the possibility to lurk around in the background or to stay with something familiar, and that's the South Node. So what choice are you going to be making here? I feel like the nodes, you know what, for example, the South Node being in the sign of Libra, it's very much about getting stuck in the past relationships or collaborations or contractual agreements. And then the North Node in the sign of Aries tells you, let's grow some balls. Let's be courageous. Let's get to know who we really are. Let's focus on our individual development. And then we can move forward. Also, the squares to the nodes often called the skipped steps. Now, I'm not going to go into this terminology as much, but let's just call it as what steps are you making to move your life forward? What is stopping you to step on the path that you need to be on? The other brilliant aspect what we've got is a beautiful trine to Uranus. So Uranus is about intuition, future, technological advancements, but it's in the sign of Taurus, which can talk to us about new financial opportunities. So how it comes into the picture for me is that if we want to make changes now in regards to our financial habits or our own self-worth as well, then we can feel optimistic, we can feel electrified somehow, and it gets us going. That Uranus wants to take us out of our comfort zone. It also wants us to have a clearer picture about the future. Uranus can, because it's the modern ruler of Aquarius, so it can be connected somehow to hopes and wishes. So we can become a lot more hopeful towards the future as well. You know, what happens is that Capricorn is more about the past, getting stuck, fears, a little bit more to do with traditions as well. Sometimes it's a little bit more conventional. It wants to go for the tested methods. And then Uranus comes around and then it presents the opportunity to break out of that. And then it offers some creative solutions. And I think it's very important that we go for the creative solutions just because Pallas Athene is actually making a sextile to this as well. So I love it. Now, by the way, Uranus is on 19 degree of Taurus. And this is going to be the last time when Uranus will be on 19 degree. It's never going to come back to it. Uranus will be going stationary direct around the 25th, 26th of January. So this is not something new. This is most likely, this opportunity has been presented to you already. But now maybe you come back to it and you have to revisit it. Maybe this opportunity got presented to you approximately about 2 years ago, 2021, July-ish, when we had the Uranus North Node and Mars conjunction, almost on 19 degree of Taurus too. So this is something that has been presented to you already. Sorry, not 2021, 2022. So that might have been presented to you around that time. But also because it happens in the sign of Taurus, which is something to do with your physical abilities. The earth signs overall are connected to lifestyle choices, habits, finances, or anything that is connected to the physical, basically the reality. So this could be brilliant time to actually start new habits because you might be able to stick to them. If you want to make a change in your professional world, this could be a great one. Uranus always tells you to try something new. Do not get stuck in the old matters. Uranus is also about being aware of your special talents. It tells you to embrace your uniqueness. It tells you to listen to your intuition. It tells you that everyone has got some unique talents. We just have to tap into those. And of course, it's in the sign of Taurus, so you can make money out of that special talent. Now, we also see that we have got the dispositor of this new moon, Saturn, is in the sign of Pisces. Now, Saturn in Pisces is very much about crystallizing our own dreams. Therefore, in order for us to make it work, we're going to have to let go of certain type of things, habits, or just overall something. But Saturn is making a beautiful sextile to Mars, who is, by the way, sitting on Ixion as well. So I love Saturn and Mars aspects. It makes someone a long distance runner. Typically, I tend to be seeing quite a lot when I'm speaking to clients. Saturn Mars aspects usually makes people love running. So this is the reason why I like giving this example. A long distance runner, just think about what they need to do. they need persistence, they need hard training. They always finish what they've started. They know how to spare their energy. They know how much, when to charge their batteries, when to lay down a little bit to recharge, but they always get there. So this is one of the reasons why I love this Saturn-Mars aspect, because it is telling you that now you can move forward at a steady pace. Long distance running is not necessarily about starting really fast. You need more energy towards the end. So this is very much about just compartmentalizing your own energy so you can get to the finish line. Mars wants to make Saturn a little bit more courageous. So Mars is energizing Saturn to build stability, to achieve something. It is motivating Saturn. And just think about it. Mars is exalted in the sign of Capricorn. Brilliant. So overall, we've got this groundbreaking new moon. It's very good for setting intentions, maybe setting intentions around finances, setting intentions around technology. Maybe you're going to be able to figure out a solution to your long-term problems. Maybe you're going to be able to move away from your old limitations and you are going to be creating new ones. So ask yourself the question, why do you feel stuck? Is it because of fear or familiarity? Saturn in Pisces, well, it's in the last sign. So again, it's about endings, and then eventually it's going to be talking to you about new beginnings. Pisces is about what? Swimming. So I'm just thinking about swimming and long distance running, right? So that could be a bit of a problem here with this constellation between Saturn and Mars, because Saturn wants to swim, Mars wants to climb the mountain. Swimming might be slow, and the walking and the running is a lot faster, but maybe it's worth a try. Maybe we're going to have to actually do both of them at the same time. What the most important part is that with this aspect, we can head into the right directions. Yes, Saturn in Pisces can get distracted by emotions. So this is also a reminder that you have to be focusing on what matters the most. Do not get kind of swayed by the small details. Remember that this new moon is on Virgo at what? So it might be very easy to get swayed by every little things what is popping up in our heads. And then the other thing I love, that Mars, while it's sextiling Saturn, it's actually making a beautiful trine to Jupiter as well. And that is happening on 5 degrees of Taurus to 5 degrees of Capricorn. That's about productivity. You know what? Jupiter is about theories. And Saturn is the practical skills. So Mars is a lucky one because it learned how to run. It knows everything about running. Now it's just trying that out and going for it. So it looks to me that the last 4 years might have been about learning certain type of new skills. And now, boom, let's get going with it. Jupiter and Mars is about confidence, believing in yourself. It's energizing you. It's making you more optimistic. You might feel invincible as well, and then you can tackle any type of problems. You might be ready to take on any type of new challenges because you have got that optimism going on. And you know what? This is also about fighting for something that is extremely important to you. I love this. I love this new moon. But I would say that your success is going to be very dependent on what type of actions you are taking if you are moving forward. Now, the other thing I've noticed in this chart is that actually we've got the Sun-Moon conjunction in a grand trine with Juno and Uranus. So we spoke about the Sun and Uranus combo, and then we've got Juno involved as well. Juno brings in the focus of relationship, contractual agreements, but also the soul's journey. So this might be that intuitive hit, maybe an idea is going to be coming from a potential business partner or a soulmate of yours. This might be able to talk to you about going for a relationship as well. But at the same time, this is just about being dedicated towards meeting new people also. So this is one of the I mean, this is a beautiful new moon. You know what? I cannot necessarily say anything bad about it, pretty much. Now we've got an asteroid involved as well. So I want to talk about that too, because this new moon is very, very tightly opposing Apollo. Apollo is all about creativity, sexuality, physical attraction. It's kind of like the rock and roll type of attitude. It's about your talents. So this is again a reminder that we all have got a talent. Often Apollo is about a love, what we love doing in our life. So it's one of the love asteroids as well. Yes, often it comes with a bit of jealousy and possessiveness. So maybe what I'm feeling with this new moon is that I'd have been jealous, for example, 4 years ago, that others have something and I do not have anything. And maybe this is a reminder that, you know what, we all can have everything, whatever we want. We just need to be able to put our minds to it. Yes, Apollo often appears in charts when we want to be taking revenge on past lovers. Actually, Apollo is retrograde, so it's very possible that someone is coming back into our life as well. Often, kind of like Apollo can represent stalkers in our life too, or someone we had a breakup with and then they kind of like do not want to accept the fact that you guys have broken up, so they kind of want to be coming back in a way. So that would be Apollo. By the way, if you want to be looking at where Apollo is in your natal chart, then its astrological number is 1862. So you can go on the additional object on astro.com, just type that in, and then you will be able to see Apollo in your own natal chart as well. Also, if you have got a prominent Apollo in your chart, this could pretty much talk to you about you have got some artistic abilities, for example. Often they choose dancing, visual art, fashion, music, performance-related matters, even cosmetic industries, plastic surgeries, and so forth. But I would say that this is more to do with the kind of like the interior surface of this planetary energy. When we go a little bit deeper, then this is very much about commitment issues. So why do I have got issues of committing to a partner, to a cause, or why am I unable to stick to a new habit as well? Also, this could be connected to leadership matters as well. I mean, if you think about that, Apollo was in mythology was kind of like riding the golden chariot and carrying the sun from east to the west and so forth. So it's the leading the way of our life in a way, but also definitely about leadership as well. So this is telling you to take the position of, you know, of the driving seat in the car. Other very important meaning to Apollo, I almost forgotten about that, but that's something to do with prophecies. He had temples. He is connected to prophecies. I mean, if you think about it, the sun has got planetary joy in the 9th house, which is the house of divine knowledge in a way. So yes, surely. Interesting that, by the way, I also would like to mention that love story is pretty much coming together with this combo, because Mars is sitting on Psyche, and Psyche's astrological number is 16. Now, I have spoken about Psyche before, I'm 100% sure. But this is very much about going through different type of trials by Hera, because she just didn't want Psyche to be with someone else, with her son, basically. Anyway, and then eventually she died, but then Eros kind of saved him and then took him to Olympus, and they lived happily ever after. But it's about going through different type of trials to get the love of my life. And then, so it's very interesting that we've got two asteroids connected to love are involved here as well. So when I look at the world, this could really talk to us about mediation and basically peacemaking also. Well, guys, I think it's enough about this upcoming new moon. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you again with the Leo full moon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.